Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Frieza first form and basically just how good he is at 100% in the hidden potential system. So this is Frieza first form, a beautiful final view. He's a planetary destruction or space traveling warriors category lead of Ki +3 HP attack and defense of 170%. He has an additional HP attack and defense of 30% for characters who also belong to the Inhuman Deeds or Terrifying Conquerors categories. On his super attack, he raises attack and raises defense for one turn, whilst greatly lowering the attack of the enemy. He activates the entrance animation once only and has attack and defense of 100% and launches an additional attack. There's a high chance of becoming a super attack for 5 turns from his entry turn when there are 2 or more space traveling warriors. He has Ki +3, attack and defense of 150%, gets an additional attack and defense of 150% when attacking, gets an additional defense of 20% and chance of performing a critical hit of 10% per Terrifying Conquerors category ally on the team, and gets an additional attack of 100% and launches an additional super attack starting from the turn in which he performs the 5th attack in battle. If there is a Pure Saiyans category enemy, he launches an additional super attack when there is a low class warriors category enemy, plus an additional 100% attack, and a chance of performing a crit of plus 50%. So, pretty straightforward. Really quite simple. I think for me, in terms of the overall performance, a very good, really good unit overall. I think for me, when I look at him, he's a really solid damage dealing unit. Defensively, his start turn defense is still only okay. And when I say okay, I mean he's not a first slot tank with a start turn defense. He can absorb some AoEs from he can absorb AoEs from fights like Samasu and that. But really where he shines and where he comes out is after super. He's the kind of guy who's gonna have a million defense, give or take, after super, even higher if he gets additional super attacks. His attack stats are really where you're going to see things go a little bit crazy. He's going to start out strong against Pure Saiyans enemies. Here he'll hit like 14 millions, 13 millions. But he's the kind of guy who can hit up to 20 mil. Like as long as he hits that 5 super attack mark, he can hit 20 millions very consistently. The thing is only harder events, like super hard events or red zones and that, actually have bosses that can cope with his damage. So what that means is when you are trying to evaluate him, it's actually very difficult to evaluate him inside lesser events. Because the bosses have so little health, they can't actually stand up to his attacks, he can't actually get additionals off, and so it takes him a little bit longer to get to his 20 million mark. But he gets there nonetheless. One nice thing, his active skill counts as a activation of that 5 super attacks effect. So overall he looks really good. I think as a damage dealer he's excellent. I think as a second slot unit he's excellent. Obviously the big caveat with him is that he is going to struggle in situations where essentially you have an issue in terms of first slot tanks. So it is somewhat solved a little bit by some of the options Terrifying Conquerors has. Amond and Raisin is not too bad a combination, but realistically Terrifying Conquerors needs a Golden Frieza, like the non-LR one, but that is just no health restriction and has big bad bosses. If they get anything like that, Terrifying Conquerors will remain a strong category for a long time. Terrifying Conquerors' biggest issue is that 90% of its units are all second slot units. They are all units that exist to be in the second slot or the third slot, dealing damage, having better defense after super, and Frieza is the same. Frieza is an exceptional damage dealer, an absolutely insane damage dealer. He has very good defense after super. He's not the tankiest unit in the game, but he's no slouch. He's not going to take damage from normals. However, in this situation, his biggest issue, unfortunately, is that he does not have a great first slot tank. So for me, Frieza is excellent. I think he's really, really well done. I genuinely like him. In his role, he's simple. He's a good damage dealer, an excellent damage dealer against Saiyan units, which is going to be very common. He's a good damage dealer in normal situations. He's very simple to use, simple to execute, great link set. He just needs some adjustments to his team, and you'll find people who appreciate him a lot more, I think, overall. But with that being said, that is basically everything you need to know. From a link point of view, obviously the focal points are big bad bosses, Thirst or Conquest, and in terms of hidden potential, he definitely is someone you want to focus in terms of crit and additionals. Ideally crit, you need those big attack stats to work, and he only has innate crit against pure Saiyans, so a little bit of crit will definitely help, but I still think you want to give him a sizable chunk of additional, because that's going to push him to that additional 100% attack a lot faster. That's it from me. See you next time. Bye.